Okay, bhai. Till previous classes, what we have discussed in detail about line of symmetry and order of rotation. So by the way, I've given you a couple of past paper questions. So in today's class, I will discuss few of them. So starting from the very first. Okay, bhai. So in the following case, what the condition is given to me on our on the regular hexagon, draw the line of symmetry. अच्छा यार मुझे बता सकते हैं कि what do we actually mean by regular hexagon? Regular hexagon क्या होता है? Hexagon means six-sided figure, and if we are talking about regular hexagon, so that refers to a hexagon having length of all sides exactly same. ऐसा ही है. तो मुझे इसकी line of symmetries बता सकते हैं कि how many line of symmetries do we have for the following hexagon? Anyone? Anyone? Will we will the line of symmetry be like this, like this, like this? ऐसे ही होगा ना बेटा. इससे कितनी पॉसिबल लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्रीज हो सकती हैं? डू वी हैव अ लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्रीज लाइक दिस, द फॉलोइंग थ्री लाइंस? इसके अलावा और कोई लाइन हो सकती है? इसके अलावा क्या कोई और लाइन हो सकती है? Can't we draw the line like this? ऐसे लाइन ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. और अगर हम ऐसे लाइन ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, so can we draw the line like this? Can we also draw the line like this? So it means that for the following regular hexagon, we are having the following six line of symmetries. So all together we are having like six line of symmetries. अच्छा बेटा यार मुझे एक चीज कंफर्म कर देना. Do you all hear me? आवाज आ रही है क्लियरली?
Yes.
तो बेटा बता क्यों नहीं रहा फिर? अच्छा चलो सही है. Moving towards next question. It's part B. Take your time. सोच समझ के बताओ. Take your time. On the grid below, draw the quadrilateral with rotational symmetry of order 2. They are asking you to draw the quadrilateral with rotational symmetry of order 2. It simply means that you can draw any of the quadrilateral. Okay? You can draw any of the quadrilateral. तो मुझे idea दोगे कि how many quadrilaterals are there that are having rotational symmetry of order 2? Anyone? हमने last class में detail में बहुत सारे quadrilaterals draw किए थे ना? Rectangle, excellent. Matlab, if you draw the rectangle like this, so rectangle having two lines of symmetries and order of rotational symmetry is also 2. Acha, isn't there any other quadrilateral? बोलो बोलो बोलो. कोई और quadrilateral हो सकता है? देखें लास्ट क्लास के लेक्चर्स देखें. If you have note down the stuff, do rhombus have order rotational symmetry too? Does rhombus has rotational symmetry, having rotational symmetry of order 2? Rhombus की rotational symmetry check करें. 2 ही होती है ना? If we talk about rhombus, so rhombus की भी तो rotational symmetry आपके पास 2 ही होती है. If we talk about parallelogram, what about parallelogram? Is it having rotational symmetry of order 2? Check करें. So if you draw parallelogram right here, so parallelogram is also having order of rotational symmetry exactly 2. So हम किसी की भी बात करें, apart of the following three shapes, we can draw any of the shape. भाई अब इन तीनों में से either rhombus, either this rectangle, either you can draw parallelogram, or you can draw rhombus. So from following three shapes, you can draw any of the shape because all of the following three shapes are having order of rotational symmetry 2. इन तीनों की रोटेशनल सिमेट्री का ऑर्डर 2 है ना, सो यू कैन ड्रॉ एनी ऑफ द शेप. ओके भाई, moving towards next question, the following one. Okay bhai, take your time first, try by yourself, tell me what's the order of rotational symmetry of the following shape. हाँ भाई क्या होगा?
3.
सिंपल सी बात है, बिकॉज इट्स इट्स आई वुड से कि आपके पास ये तीनों ही sides are having same angle, so you can simply say the order of rotational symmetry for the following shape will be 3. And in next part you are supposed to find the value of x. So anyone by x की value कैसे calculate करने वाले हो? The complete angle in a circle is equivalent to what? The complete angle in a circle is equivalent to what? 360 degree.
360.
Yes, so you can sum up all the angles. That is, how many x do we have? We are having 3 times x added with 40 is how many times? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So 40 multiplied by 3 is equivalent to 360. Now you can just solve it for x. और अगर x के लिए solve कर ले तो आप ऐसे ही करेंगे ना, 360 40 into 3 becomes 120, तो minus 120 divided by 3. अगर आप simplify कर लेंगे तो finally the value of x comes out to be 80 degree. Agree? ऐसा ही है. After simplification, the value of x comes out to be 80 degree. Check कर लें. Any problem, any confusion? Okay भाई, moving towards next question. Next question की बात कर लेते हैं. Okay भाई, in the following case, they have given you the name of couple of quadrilaterals. भाई आपके पास कुछ quadrilaterals के name है ना. It's like parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus and square. Which of the following quadrilateral have exactly 2 lines of symmetry? Now they are asking you to about exactly 2 lines of symmetry. So bhai, is there any shape that is having 2 lines of symmetry? Among the following 4 shapes, is there any shape that is having exactly 2 lines of symmetry? याद करें.
Rectangle.
Rectangle. So that could be rectangle. और जिनको ये बात याद नहीं आ रही, तो let me draw few things for them. Just a moment. भाई देखें, एक बात समझ लीजिए क्लियरली. This is your rectangle, this is your square, and this is your parallelogram, and this is your rhombus. Just a moment, let me just complete the following shapes. फिर हम एक बात समझ लेते हैं क्लियरली. समझ लेते हैं. If we connect this with this one, connecting this with this one, then this with this one, and this with this one, and this with this one. Okay भाई, बेटा अगर आप clearly बात करें, so if you talk about rectangle, the very first shape, rectangle, so rectangle is having exactly 2 lines of symmetry, one like this, one like this. If you talk about a square, so square is having 4 lines of symmetry, 2 like this and 2 like diagonal ones. I'm just reviewing the last class stuff, so if anyone haven't been through the recording or misses them, so उसको बात याद आ जाए. और if you talk about parallelogram, so parallelogram is having no line of symmetry. Whereas if we talk about rhombus, so rhombus is having 2 line of symmetries. One is this one and another one is this one. अब एक बात clearly बताएं, if you talk about rhombus and square, if you talk about rhombus and rectangle, both are having 2 lines of symmetries. अगर आप rectangle और rhombus दोनों की बात करें, so they both are having exactly 2 lines of symmetries. So in the following blank, आप किस किस का नाम लिख देंगे? You are going to write rectangle is having 2 lines of symmetries, as well as rhombus is also having 2 lines of symmetries. Okay, because both of the following shapes are given in the options above. Okay, now they are asking you about rotational symmetry of order 2. हाँ भाई, उसके लिए बताते हैं rotational symmetries of order 2. Anyone? So rotational symmetry of order 2 में हमारे पास देखे ना कौन कौन से शेप में आएंगे. You are having parallelogram having order rotational symmetry 2, rhombus having order of rotational symmetry 2, as well as the rectangle is also having order of rotational symmetry 2. इन तीनों ही शेप्स के आपके पास order of rotational symmetry 2 होते हैं. So in the following blank I am going to write rectangle, then I am going to write rhombus, then I am going to write parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram, because all of the following three shapes are having order rotational symmetry 2. Now the very last part, diagonals are equal. Diagonals are equal in length. So भाई just have a look at the following four shapes with देख के बताएं किसके diagonals आपको पास equal in length लग रहे हैं. If we draw the diagonals, so diagonals in the following shape will be like this. Let me pick some different color to draw the diagonal. Uh, if you draw the diagonals of rectangle, they are diagonals not line of symmetry. सुन रहे हो? मैं diagonal draw कर रहा हूँ, line of symmetry draw नहीं कर रहा. Another diagonal will be like this. So it means दिखने में आपको clearly लग रहा होगा कि rectangle is having same length of diagonals. If you talk about rectangle, they are having same lengths of diagonal. Rectangle and square. Yes, excellent Manur. Rectangle and square is having same length of diagonals. So bhai, in the following blank we are going to write rectangles and square. आप clearly figure में देख भी सकते हैं. So it's rectangle and square. Okay bhai, easy one. Now moving towards next part. That is this one. Okay bhai. What examiner is asking you? Examiner is simply asking you, on a grid blow, draw a quadrilateral, no rotational symmetry and just one line of symmetry. So by is there any quadrilateral that is having no rotational symmetry? No rotational symmetry refers to zero order rotational symmetry. No rotational symmetry also refers to zero order rotational symmetry. Anyone? Isosceles trapezoid. Okay, agree. अगर आप ड्रॉ कर लें आइसोसेलेस ट्रेपेजॉइड तो दैट इज हैविंग लाइक दिस. अच्छा, मैं अगर आइसोसेलेस ट्रेपेजॉइड की बात कर रहा हूँ सो आइसोसेलेस ट्रेपेजॉइड विल बी समव्हाट लाइक दिस. ट्रेपीजियम की आप बात कर रहे हैं ना, मतलब आइसोसेलेस ट्रेपीजियम को आइसोसेलेस ट्रेपेजॉइड भी कहते हैं. ओके, सो लेट मी फर्स्ट कंप्लीट द शेप, then we are going to discuss. This is your isosceles trapezoid. Let me just erase these extra lines. Okay bhai, this is our trapezium because following two lines are parallel to one another and these two are equal in length. So इसकी आपके पास एक भी rotational symmetry नहीं होगी. And if you talk about line of symmetry, so this will be considered as the line of symmetry for the following shape. अच्छा, isn't there any other shape other than this isosceles trapezoid? Do we have any other shape? Any other quadrilateral? Shape तो बहुत सारे होंगे. Any other quadrilateral that is having order of rotational symmetry 0 and no line of symmetry? What about kite? What about kite? If we like talk about kite, तो आप kite के लिए भी clearly देख सकते हैं ना. Kite is having 0 order rotational symmetry and that is also quadrilateral. Following two lines are equal in length. Following two lines are also equal in length. If you talk about line of symmetry, so this will be considered as the line of symmetry for the kite. So exactly whether you draw kite whether you draw isosceles trapezium, isosceles trapezium, both are acceptable. Both are acceptable. Now the part number 2. Now discuss part number B. In part B, they are giving you the condition a parallelogram has a rotational symmetry of that dash order and dash line of symmetry. हाँ भाई, anyone? What's the order of rotational symmetry of parallelogram? ये तो सिंपल ब्लैंक है ना, जैसे हम नॉर्मली करते हैं. A parallelogram has rotational symmetry of order 2 and zero line of symmetry. Excellent beta. And zero line of symmetries. Agree? Easy one. Now moving towards next question, the following one. Complete the description of the pattern. They are asking you to complete the description for the pattern. The following pattern A, complete the description of the pattern below. The pattern has rotational symmetry of dash order and dash lines of symmetry. अब देखें, if we talk about the following shapes, so following shapes, if you rotate the following shapes, so this triangle, the empty one, we are having the same empty one, we are having a same empty one. तीन आपके पास empty triangle है and there are three shaded triangle. So if you rotate the following shape, so it repeats itself, it repeats its original shape in 360 rotation about 3 times. So you can simply say the pattern has rotational symmetry of order 3. Order 3. Whereas if we talk about number of line of symmetries, so एक बात आप clearly समझिएगा. There are a couple of students who are thinking like, okay, sir, we can draw this as a line of symmetry. Beta, if you draw the following line as a line of symmetry and you fold this shape against this line, अगर आप इस line के against इस shape को fold करते हैं, so this part is not going to overlap over this part is not going to overlap over this part is not going to overlap over this. हमने ये बात सीखी थी, whenever we talk about line of symmetry, the line of symmetry is that line that exactly overlaps one side of a shape onto the other. ऐसे ही है ना, आपके पास शेप की लेफ्ट साइड राइट हैंड साइड पे जाके ओवरलैप और राइट हैंड साइड could be overlap on the left hand side against that line of symmetry. So the following shape is having zero line of symmetry or no line of symmetry. Okay. Now examiner is saying shade two more small square in the shape to make the pattern exactly two lines of symmetry. अच्छा, by the way, ignore this part number B. What if I ask you कि how many line of symmetry this shape right now is having? तो मुझे बताओगे कि भाई इस शेप की exactly इस वक्त कितनी line of symmetries है? How many line of symmetry this shape is having right now? Anyone? How many line of symmetry this shape is having right now? भाई देखे ना, अगर इस शेप की लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री की बात करूं तो दिस विल बी द ओनली लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री. बेटा मानू तीन कैसे होंगी मुझे बताओगी? This will be the only line of symmetry right now for the following shape, because if you overlap the following shape against this line, so this part, this triangle is going to overlap over this one, this triangle is going to overlap over this one, so the following shape right now is having only one line of symmetry. Acha, what the examiner want is ke shade two more boxes. What the examiner is simply saying, examiner is saying shade two more small square in the following shape to make a pattern with exactly two lines of symmetries. So if you are interested to make two lines of symmetry, so what you are going to do, you are going to shade two more boxes. So I would say कि भाई this box and this box, this box and this box on shading will give you exactly two lines of symmetries. How? Wait a second. Uh, just wait a second. Let me do some finishing stuff for the following shading. Then we will discuss. Just a minute. Okay, bhai. If you shade the following two boxes, so how do we have two lines of symmetries? Let me show you how. This one will be the line of symmetry. How this will be the line of symmetry? Because this box is going to overlap over this one. This box is going to overlap over this one. And the shaded one is going to overlap over this one against the following line of symmetry. ऐसे होगा बेटा. आपके पास the following three boxes will overlap over one another. And what will be the second line of symmetry for the following case? The second line of symmetry will look like this. Second line of symmetry will look like this. और इस case में the following box is going to overlap over this one, and the following is going to overlap over this one, and the half of this is going to overlap over this, and the half box right like this is going to overlap over this one. So इस तरह से आपके पास exactly two lines of symmetry हो जाएंगी if you shade the following two boxes. Hopefully I'm clear up till here. Okay, bhai, anyone is having any problem right now? Clear है बेटा पक्का पक्का? Shall we move on? Okay, bhai. Moving forward. Moving forward. In question number 13. In question number 13. On the diagram below, shades two more squares to make the pattern has rotational symmetry of order 2. Now they are asking you to make the rotational symmetry of order 2. अच्छा भाई ऐसे केस में क्या करने वाले हम? What are we supposed to do in the following cases? अच्छा, before starting part A, before discussing this part A, let's discuss part B. First discuss the like parts जिसमें हम line of symmetry की बात कर लें, because हम अभी से start से हम उन्हीं parts को deal कर रहे हैं ना, in which we are supposed to draw the line of symmetry. So let's first discuss this part number B. So what examiner is saying in part B? In part B, examiner is simply saying on a diagram below, shade two more square to make a pattern has only one line of symmetry. What the examiner want? Examiner want कि भाई आप कितने boxes को shade कर लें? Two more small squares. So what that two small squares will be? Wait a second. कौन से दो small squares होंगे? Just wait a second. The two small squares, one is this one and other one will look like this. इस तरह से होंगे. Agree? And if we like talk about line of symmetry, so line of symmetry in the following case will somehow look like this. Yes or no? If you consider the following line as a line of symmetry, so what will happen? Simply this this is going to overlap over this one. This is going to overlap over this one. This part is going to overlap over this one. And this part is going to overlap over this one. So in the following case, if you shade the following two squares, so the given shape is having exactly two lines of symmetry. Agree? Clear है बेटा पक्का पक्का? Shall we move on? Okay, bhai. Moving towards few of more cases. Before discussing this one, let's discuss one more case regarding line of symmetry. Let's discuss one more case regarding line of symmetry. अच्छा भाई, what this case is? सुनिएगा जरा गौर से. Let's discuss. This is a question that I'm discussing from my side. Simpler one, very simple question. Very simple question. Let me just finish the figure. Okay, bhai. This will look somewhat like this. Okay. Acha, this is your point A. This is your point B. Point A and point B. अच्छा एक दफा एग्जामिनर ने आपको कंडीशन क्या दी? Examiner gives you the condition, complete the following shape. Let me write the wording. Examiner give you the condition, complete the following shape so that AB is the only line of symmetry. Examiner has given you simple condition. Examiner is giving you simple condition. They are asking you to complete the following shape so that AB is the only line of symmetry. कि इस condition में the only line of symmetry for the following shape will be AB. So मुझे बता सकते हैं कि if we are going to complete the following shape, so what am I supposed to do? इस shape में मैं कैसे complete कर लूँ कि AB will be the only line of symmetry? There are number of options. There are number of options. जरा observe करना start करिएगा. If I connect the following point with this one, so will A be the only line of symmetry? Yes or no? तो ऐसी condition में क्या AB is the only line of symmetry? Yes or no? Because half part of this shape is right here and half part is right here. अच्छा भाई, any other option? Any other option other than connecting the following two points via line? Is there any other option? Yes, there is any other option. If you connect this in such a way कि आपके पास exactly kite form हो जाए. If you connect both in such a way कि आपके पास kite form हो जाए, so obviously now this shape is also having line of symmetry. Line of symmetry. AB is the only line of symmetry. अच्छा भाई, any other option? Yes, there are a number of options. If you connect this falling point, like this, so obviously again AB will be the only line of symmetry. AB ही आपके पास सिर्फ और सिर्फ line of symmetry होगी. So there are number of options you can solve the following question accordingly. The very simplest way is this one. You can connect them via line. The very simplest approach is like this one, that you can connect them via line. Agree? Clear है बेटा? Agree? Clear है? Okay. Moving towards the